Welcome to the first edition of Action News, where we take the breaking news that's going on around in the sports world, cover it, throw out opinions, and just talk about what's happening with it. All right, today, some big news broke this morning right before the playoff games today, and that is Doug Pederson may be out in Philly after originally being thought that his job was going to be safe there. So what's going on and why is this happening is the owner, Jeffrey Lurie. He's a good owner in Philly. He just wasn't sold on what Pederson had planned to fix the offense. We're not sure what this was that Pederson wanted to fix the offense, but reports are saying that Pederson just wanted to stick with someone in the organization and not change the offense up that much, which obviously Jeffrey Lurie isn't very happy with. They were 26th in scoring this season, and obviously that's a big downgrade from what they were a year ago and being a playoff team last year. Obviously, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out, considering Pederson was the first Eagles head coach to win a Super Bowl and then also making the playoffs every year since then. Obviously, 4-11-1 this year is terrible, and there's been so many moments that make it seem like he's lost the locker room, but it's still going to be hard to see that you're just going to be throwing away a Super Bowl coach after 3 years. However, the meeting last week and why this whole thing started went very poorly with Lurie and Pederson, and that's where this whole unhappiness and Lurie's doubt is starting to show up with Pederson because the meeting went poorly. However, what's happening now is another meeting is going to happen sometime this upcoming week in Florida to see if they could figure out something. But it seems like there's a bunch of fracturing relationships in Philly with Howie Roseman, Pederson, Lurie, Wentz. Just everything's kind of falling apart there, and that's not something you want to carry with your organization continually for years on, and because that'll just lead to bad play and higher draft picks for you, and longer and longer away from getting back to that Super Bowl caliber team, which obviously you don't want to have to deal with at all. But now, moving on to another big topic with this is, what does this mean for Carson Wentz? Obviously, the whole idea of Carson Wentz getting traded is that him and Doug Pederson's relationship was fractured. Now, if Philly does move on from Pederson, that makes a larger case for Wentz to stay and get him with a new coach. I still think he should leave. I just think Wentz is done with Philly. He needs a change of scenery to ever fix himself. But I could definitely see him ending up staying in Philly due to the fact that this whole relationship isn't working out well with anyone. So I could see a replacement at head coach, however, changing the point of view of the staff on whether they want to keep Carson Wentz, or maybe even Carson Wentz's point of view. Maybe he wants to stay now. But that's the big thing with him. And now, if Pederson goes out in Philly, it's going to be a question of next, who can replace him? I think I have two guys that are going to be your best replacements. And first, you're going to have Brian Daboll, the Bills' offensive coordinator. He might get swooped up before they have time to really fire Doug Pederson. But I think Brian Daboll is an excellent offensive guy, which definitely Philly's going to need an offensive guy, change things up on offense. But Brian Daboll obviously worked with Josh Allen, made Josh Allen a lot better. This Bills offense is humming, and they have been humming all season. I think a lot of that is going to be credited to Brian Daboll. He's done a fantastic job there with the Bills. Even since he's been there, he's done a great job with the Bills, and I think wherever he goes, he's going to make a great head coach. But that'll still be yet to be seen. Now, the other guy is Pete Carmichael. If you want experience, you want a guy that you know is going to come in with a veteran look at it, you're going to want Pete Carmichael, the Saints offensive coordinator. Like I said, you're going to want an offensive guy there. Obviously, he's been with Drew Brees and that Saints offense for years, and he's ran it pretty well. Saints are about to go into cap hell and have to unload a lot of their roster next season. So I think with Pete Carmichael, might want a way out of there, so he'll definitely be up for head coaching jobs, and he's a smart veteran guy, and I think he'd really work out in Philly. I think Lurie would like him. I think Roseman would like him. I think that's an easy hire for Philly to make. All right, so that's the breaking news of today. Doug Pederson, like I said, maybe out in Philly. Just let me know down in the comments what your guys' opinions are on this absolutely stunning news, I think, for everyone in the sports world. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.